5, 6, walking forward. Not yet. Go!
And
that was...
And that's how I saved Michelle Obama from a burning building.
Whoa, God. I didn't know you had feet that big.
I did. Did you get the whole story or just... Did you record that whole story?
I was peeing. I'm sorry.
I'm not allowed to tell it again by the Secret Service. But that was awesome.
That was awesome. What happened to your awesome background that you had?
Okay, for our viewers, this is what happens when I try.
Yes. It looks like you're in a John Cassavetes film.
This is not. I feel like 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I think it's great.
Dude, like, how cool does the M look?
Pretty freaking awesome.
That was awesome. That virtual background was awesome. One day I'll actually be able to do it nicely. I should get like a green screen. Anyway, this is I'm Reuben Wolf.
I'm Sean Gibbs.
I'm Sean Gibbs.
He's Reuben Wolf.
And this is season 1, episode 14 of the Goldbergs. You open the door.
You open the door.
You open the door.
By the way, this episode made me so uncomfortable so many times.
I shed a tear at the end?
Ooh.
I was giggling. I was crying. This is a great Goldbergs episode.
I really should have ironed my shirt. I'm trying to work on my appearance.
Speaking of appearance, what do you prefer? The way I look now or the way I look now?
Yes, like that. That was so much more awesome.
That was awesome.
It's like you're in a John Cassavetes film.
Excuse me, COVID.
Or Vicodin, whichever you got. Take what you got.
I still don't get that joke.
Vicodin and COVID are so close together in letters. It's only off by like one letter. I think like an N. COVID, Vicodin. One I.
I don't know. I think there's a few I's. Anyway, this is as we were saying, this is a Adam Bev episode, and I think the early ones are very cute. They get a little creepier as he gets older.
So creepy. Like the 4th episode in Ratchet. You watching Ratchet that's out now? Just came out.
No, I heard it's okay.
What? It's fucking great. But I had to shut it off. My mom and I were talking on the phone today. I said, Mama, she's like, I really like it. I said, yeah, but I had to shut it off. She's like, what episode are you on? I'm like, I think 4. She's like, I'm on 4. I had to shut it off last night too. Whoa. She's like, are you thinking of the same part? I'm like, I guarantee it's the same part. I was like, I'm not in the mood for this right now. I'm not ready.
You were 4 when Cuckoo's Nest came out, right?
Yeah, I think I saw it at the drive-in when it came out with my mom. I remember Chief throwing the machine through the window. Yeah, Juicy Fruit.
That is such a bad movie to take a kid to.
Oh God, you know why do you think I'm so damaged? Martini, the minimum bet's a dime. I bet a nickel.
Danny DeVito's first film performance.
That's who I was doing. I was doing a Danny DeVito. Yeah. What a great fucking movie. Oh my God. I can't watch it anymore. It's just so depressing.
Oh, the book is good too. Have you read
I read the book in high school. That was all about like Ken Kesey and fucking all that back in, I would read like Slaughterhouse 5 and just be damaged for weeks. I'm talking different authors, but I used to read a lot of really disturbing stuff.
I haven't gotten into it yet. I really want to read it. I have the Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test by Tom Wolfe.
I never really got into that for some reason. I was totally into taking acid and all kinds of stuff, and just the vibe of the book I didn't get into. I don't know why. Maybe I should go back and read it.
I feel like acid was cool in the 60s, and we're all just trying to recreate the 60s when we drop acid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anywho, shall we talk about the episode?
Yeah, the uncomfortable episode. Yeah.
Let's get real uncomfortable, guys and girls. No Sheila Gams.
No gams. No gams. There were some gams later.
Were they mom gams?
They were mom gams.
Mom gams. Okay, we're going to get to some mom gams. Our opening narration. This is going to be fun because this is going to be a healthy conversation for us. So many dances of the 80s.
Breakdancing. I was a breakdancer.
I was going to ask what your favorite dance was.
I was more of a pop and locking kind of guy, and I used to hang around a Mexican gang of breakdancers called the Renegades. They all wore red, and I wore blue. They would throw me out first to pop and lock to test the waters of the other crews that we would go against. But these guys were like masters of floor work, could do like no-handed windmills, head spins, everything. Whereas I could only do I was more of a dancer than the floor work.
So if you've been paying attention, this has been Sean Gibbs in the 80s. He grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri. He wore Judas Priest pins on his leather jacket, and he breakdanced.
Yep, gotten a lot of people give me a lot of shit for it too.
I feel like you were like the Forrest Gump of the 80s, where like you like whatever was happening then and like historic, you did it.
Totally.
How did it feel being the lone gringo?
Oh, that was fun because we were in bad parts of town. We would go down downtown Kansas City, Missouri, and go to these weird spots and have break fights against people.
Where they don't root for the Chiefs.
No, and these guys acted like they were going to pull knives on us one night, and I was really scared, and they scared the guys off. And I was like, "Weren't you afraid of those guys? They had knives." He goes, "No, they don't have knives. We have knives." And every little 13 to 15-year-old kid with their breakdance outfit pulled out fucking knives.
And Paul Hogan from Crocodile Dundee was there, and he was like, "I have this great line for a movie I'm shooting."
Yeah, and then he did a head spin and crocodile shoes.
That's not a knife. This is a knife. I haven't seen that in so long. Speaking of 80s, so we find out that Adam has 2 left feet. He's very uncoordinated, and he comes out of the school, and he beefs it on the stairs. And Dana comes to help him because Dana's like the sweetest girl in the whole world and like the most understanding. And his excuse, my quad's locked up on me.
I've been working out so much.
I was trying to think, I'm like, does that ever happen? Like, do quads lock up?
I used to do powerlifting, and my quads never locked up, and I did stupid amounts of weight.
Who are you?
You have no idea. You just barely scratched the surface of my resume. It's stupid.
I feel like I'm going to find out, like you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I was on the last mission to the moon.
And there were alligators with us, because, of course, we were taking alligators to the moon.
The aliens are assholes. And then I love this part where he was like, Dana asked if he was going to the dance, and I think he said, like, she's like, I'm going. And he's like, that's cool. That's cool.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
The dance sounds scrumptious.
Oh, I about threw up. That was weird. He even, I think, said something about that being weird coming out of his mouth.
Adam is adorably a dork. I love it. This first love is so adorable. You don't think?
Oh, she's such a sweetheart. Yeah, she's great.
What was your first love like where you were like such a smooth operator that you wouldn't refer to a dance as scrumptious?
Angie Dresch. We made out in the hallway of a church when we were supposed to be, I think, studying the Bible.
Did your quads lock up?
Something locked up.
Oh, hi-oh.
Yep.
It's a penis joke. Then Bev's in the car and she's like, "Get over here!" And then we gotta I think this is our second make.
Smother. The second what?
Make. The make motion. This is the second time we've seen it. You have to make poo-poos.
Is that what that means?
Yep, that's her thing. You have to make poo-poos. That's Bev. I don't get it. Like, I guess this is the toilet, or is it the bowels? And like,
is that the poop going through the chute of the sphincter?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the whole thing is about.
Don't you have like 3 sphincters total?
Sign language. This is poop or shit.
Oh, maybe she was.
It was like the inverted though. Like you have to put it back in the butthole. You have to make poo-poos? You have to make poo-poos, sweetie?
And she just kept saying it too. Just, make poo-poos. You gotta make, no, shut up, Mom. Shut up. Oh, it's so gross. What a horrible smother she is.
And then she says, who are you talking to? You were talking to Dana Caldwell, weren't you? Why do you ask questions that you already know the answers to?
Why is she so angry at Dana Caldwell?
She's not. Did you get that?
Well, I mean, why is she all up in his business about?
Well, she doesn't even have to be, because in the next scene, she's explaining to Murray the whole conversation that she wasn't even there for.
Oh, because she could read lips. Yeah. But then I'm just realizing something that she says, Murray, this is like what happens when we drink white wine and put on a Lionel Richie album. She's insinuating that the two kids are going to have sex at the dance.
Or maybe Bev and Murray put on a Lionel Richie album, drink white wine, and dance innocently.
And made
on the hips.
Made him.
Look, I'm dancing.
You are
And we learned that Murray has never given the birds and the bees talk to Barry, which sets up our bee story.
Yes.
Get it?
Our
birds and bee story.
I'm a little slow. It's been a long day on the roof. Wow, look at my double chin. Wow.
I think between us we have 5 chins.
I think I was trying to like look better on the Zooms, but I'm starting to look more like I just sing for Smash Mouth. But not like the original singer, but like someone that they subbed who is, they're like, oh, just get kind of a chubby guy with a little goatee and a little pork pie, and we'll just throw. God damn it. Oh, and they said not like there's a line outside of his bedroom. Yeah.
These parents are really insinuating sex is going on between the kids.
Just a lot of sex.
Just the kids are Barry and Adam are gigolos, and Erica just spends all her time on the phone. Speaking of, so Adam goes to Pops so he can learn how to dance, and this scene had me giggling the entire time.
Oh wait, though, but then we get the cussing. That he says that Bev is a pain in his ass, but he doesn't say it out loud. But she says she can read lips.
But then she says it right back to him.
Yes.
You're a pain in my ass.
Sexual tension.
I know these two, Murray and Bev. I think these two should get together.
Maybe there's going to be another child on the way.
Oh, I hope not. I think the Goldbergs are perfect as they are. So Pops teaches Adam to dance. And it's a shuffle and a cha.
A shuffle and a cha. A shuffle, a squibbity beat, a squibbity beat.
And my foot is swollen.
Oh, and those orthopedic shoes. And those nylon socks with his polyester pants. Oh, man.
Oh, I was giggling the whole time.
Yeah, that was pretty great. I have to admit.
I wonder, like, this felt like 1920s type dancing. Like, we know Pops is like from the 60s.
Yeah, I expected him to have some more sexy moves because he's always got like, when he goes down to the jazz club, he's always like hanging out doing shots and shit.
I know. Like, how do you get Sheila and her gams with shuffle and a cha?
Maybe that's what charms the loins of the ladies back then.
I guess so, or maybe just being a business owner. And like super wealthy business owner.
Super wealthy.
So Adam goes up to Erica's room, wanting to ask her for dancing advice. And Erica is on the phone and having the most 80s conversation I've ever heard. So he said what? He said what? And then Adam interrupts her. And she's on the phone with Lainey. Who is Lainey?
Elusive Lainey.
We haven't solved the Lainey mystery yet.
But more importantly, what a sick Real Genius shirt he had on. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, I have that written down. The Real Genius shirt.
I wish I had a Real Genius shirt. Val Kilmer when he was in his prime.
Where did they get that shirt? I'm like,
I've never seen that shirt before. I think they made it for the show.
Maybe, but it just said Real Genius. So like maybe like I don't know if it was like a movie shirt or they're like, oh, it's a shirt that says Real Genius, and there was a movie called Real Genius. Real Genius was the one where what was it? Val Kilmer goes to college.
Yeah. And then it's a name like amyl nitrate, but it's not amyl nitrate, and he like files it down and puts it into coin like shape, and then puts it into the vending machine to get free stuff. Oh, I forget what that was called. But yeah, there's a conspiracy against the government. And of course, they save it because they're smart kids because they paid attention in chemistry class.
Yeah, it was like there was a weird moment in the '80s where like that and like Weird Science came out. Like there was all this stuff about all these movies about teens using science for sex and fun and partying. Like very.
But Val Kilmer was also in Top Secret at that point.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, that still holds up.
Very, very well.
Back like the airplane type movies, like Leslie Nielsen,
Those
Police Squad.
Yeah, speaking of Val Kilmer, I watched The Doors for the first time a couple weeks ago. It was pretty good.
I went to see that with my best friend John Buttram in Kansas City, and we got high before it, and then we went and got really drunk afterwards. And my buddy got on top of a car, like Jim Morrison did in Hollywood, and said, "I'm the Lizard King. I can do anything." And he fell off the car onto his tailbone, almost broke his tailbone.
So I guess he can't stand up straight as the Lizard King.
No, and I'm pretty sure that's 90% of the back problems of my friend later in life was falling off that car.
Ouch.
Oh, I think we might have been on mushrooms at that point.
I just wanted to do peyote in the desert.
Me too.
That's something I really want to do. It was so I don't know. Val Kilmer did so much cool stuff.
I was totally into Jim Morrison back in the day. That's what got me into stealing poetry books and philosophy books from bookstores.
Yes, I don't think
we talked about that one time.
I don't think I've ever told you my Doors story, but it's very long, so I won't go into it.
Paraphrase.
It's why I believe in angels.
Oh boy.
That's the lesson of the story. So Barry decides he's gonna help. He's gonna teach Adam to dance, and you know it's gonna be good. You know we're in for a treat.
So embarrassing.
Whenever Barry's like, "I got this," you know we're gonna have some fun. And it's not unlike Pop's moves.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's like that stupid like 80s
cha-cha-cha-cha, jazz hands.
And then
when are you gonna start dancing?
Me?
No, that's what he says to it.
Oh, helicopter.
Yeah. Worst breakdancing ever. By the way, how many TVs do they have in their entire house? Because there's like another room now that they're breakdancing in that I haven't seen in any other episode. There's another TV in it.
Yeah, let's talk. Can we also talk about Barry's breakdancing versus like from someone who breakdanced in the 80s? What did you hate about it? Were you sickened by it?
Every single thing that he did.
He put on the bandana and the gloves.
It was a parody of breakdancing. It wasn't even breakdancing.
I know. I was hoping he would rap like right in the middle of it too.
I'm not surprised.
What's your breakdancing move?
It used to be where I would dive on my hands and then do the worm backwards. But when I was in Manchester, England, I was drunk in a nightclub. My buddy and I started breakdancing, and I fell on my chin. I still have a wound I should have gotten stitches for. But I was known for like moonwalking, the wave. Yeah, a lot of popping and locking.
Teach me your ways, Sean.
Oh, I can't do it sitting down. I'll have to stand up sometime and show you. And not when I'm wearing a shirt that looks like a tarp.
Okay. I'm such a bad dancer. But then we learn Bev can dance. And she's got all these moves.
Oh, so they knew what they were doing when they created this fucking monster of a sitcom, but it's just blatant erotic, like
really puffing the chest out, Bev. And she's staring down at him. And she's like, "You like some of this?"
Oh God, no!
I must have like a mom complex.
I guess so.
It
So
worked.
troubling.
And so Adam relents, and he opens the door and says, "Teach me how to dance." And they do a little kid and play, and they do a little John Travolta. And then it's time to slow dance. And Adam's like, "Nah, I'm not for it." And this is where I got a little freaked out. It's the most awkward camera work I've ever seen on the show.
I don't like it. It bothered me. It really just the slow dancing part was so uncomfortable. And then she says, "You smell like the dryer. You're so yummy." Oh,
I know she brings him in for a hug, but the camera work is like, she's got her arms on Adam, and she's like, it's like head on. It's very creepy. And luckily we get a reprieve. So
I'm really uncomfortable.
I love the part though. Adam storms out of the room, but he turns around and he's yelling, but he says, he lets it known. It sounds like I'm yelling, but I'm very appreciative.
Which even still bothered me. I don't know. This whole episode was bothersome.
You don't have a heart.
I do have a heart, but all the sexual overtones between the family members.
Sexual overtones. Speaking of, leads us into Murray really tries to give a birds and the bees conversation to Barry. And Barry's eating blueberry.
Oh, I could fuck up some blueberry right now. That sounds so good.
I gotta get some blueberry. I've never had blueberry.
Do they still make blueberry?
Probably. I gotta get some the boobs. The boob.
That seems like one of the things they would have found like something wrong. Like they were like putting plastic in the marshmallows or something to make them
Probably.
float.
And Barry, who's now a doctor, was just funneling the stuff into his mouth. Was that a good after cereal milk, blueberry?
Yes.
What was it? What is blueberry?
It was just a frighteningly sugary.
It tastes like blueberries?
It was like Frankenberry, but with blueberry. Frankenberry was the strawberry version.
Oh, ew.
That didn't last very long.
It didn't sound like it. I think Frankenberry is still around. One of them's still around, I think. I don't know. I could probably find a box on Amazon. I'll probably do that. I might get a box of boob.
eBay would definitely have it.
I feel like the eBay one would be like expired in 1985.
And still taste the same.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be awesome. So Murray tries to give the birds and the bees conversation to Barry. And Barry goes, Is it like Gremlins? Is sex like Gremlins where you kiss a girl after midnight and the saliva gets into her belly? And Murray's like, what are you talking about?
French kiss a girl after midnight. Ugh. And then it's just fucking disturbing. This whole man.
I thought it was funny.
It's like your mouth jizz goes down into the belly of a girl. Basically, you're spitting in a girl's mouth, which makes her pregnant. And have you noticed, like in the song WAP, she talks about somebody spitting in her mouth while they're having sex, and like
I haven't heard.
People are talking about like doing that. Don't ask me to do that. Don't spit in my mouth. No, I'm sorry. I've done a lot of crazy shit, but I will puke all over you. And if you do that, I charge.
Murray even gets creeped out and he leaves the room. He's like, peace. This is really weird. So we learned that so Bev bought Adam some new clothes for the dance.
You want the rad news or the totally rad news? Mom, don't say rad.
Here's the clothes to cushion the blow of her going to the dance. She's going to be a chaperone.
Parachute pants.
Let's talk about parachute pants.
Love parachute pants.
What?
Love parachute pants. I wish they'd make a comeback. They always look so hot.
They were they like windbreaker pants or like the MC Hammer pants?
No, they were basically like, I guess, cargo pants, but they were really tight and they were made of nylon like parachute, so you just sweat. But they were skin tight. So
they weren't parachute because they were like wide and breathable.
They were made of parachute, like what you make a parachute out of.
Were they comfortable?
Yes, until you started sweating profusely.
I can imagine. Like I sweat very easily. Those don't sound comfortable to me.
No, but their texture felt really good, and to walk in them felt really good. But like when you would sit in your own pool of sweatness,
Huh. And we're gonna learn a little bit more about these parachute pants in a little bit. But Bev says, I'm going to the dance with you, and don't think of me as your mom, think of me as your coach. And Adam rightly replies, I don't want to think of you at all when I'm dancing with Dana. It's a little weird. Was your mom ever the chaperone?
I would no. She didn't want to be a part of any of that. No.
My mom was a chaperone.
Really?
Yes, but I compensated by just not going to the dances.
We usually just got drunk or stoned or took acid or something.
Yeah, it wasn't that cool. So Adam goes up to Erica. Erica's still on the phone with Lainey.
On her clear phone, which I love.
That was cool. That's all. That's so in style. That should come back. They should make like clear iPhones.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that everything clear. Can we get that?
Parachute pants.
Not parachute pants. Clear technology. I would love to see right through my Mac.
Yeah. Then when he starts to admit that he slow danced with mom, it totally looked like Barry was jealous. He said, "What? We have to talk about this because of my feelings on this on so many levels." Disturbing. Oh, but then he tries to validate it.
And we've caught on to the we call it the Greg Brady Florence Henderson complex.
Yes.
Totally going on with Barry and Bev. I hope we have like one of them on one day where we can like ask them like what is going on between you.
Did you guys bang or what? Did you guys spit in each other's mouths and fucking cut holes in your parachute pants and fucking
get her pregnant? Did you kiss her after midnight?
Oh, with the French tongue, I'm gonna throw up.
I wrote this. So I slow dance with mom equals I watched my parents have sex. The way Adam delivers it to Erica. And the way Barry is like, what is your deal? You know, Adam's just like, I slow dance with mom. And Erica like hangs up and she's like, what? That's kind of like the conversation I imagine with like, I just watched our parents have sex. Without the hugging. You're making it weird.
It is weird. The whole episode's weird. Every time I would start to get comfortable and watch it again, there was just some reference to them fucking again.
It's a mother dancing with her child. It's not weird. I slow dance with my mom. Dude, I slow dance with my mom. You don't slow dance with your mom? You should stop doing acid and start slow dancing with your mom.
I don't think I've ever slow danced with my mother ever.
You were busy breakdancing and smoking pot. You should have been slow dancing with your mom.
Hanging out with gangs. With knives. Yep. Downtown, man. Downtown KC. No joke. Renegades.
Stop going to watch Judas Priest and start slow dancing with your mom.
I've been listening to a lot of Judas Priest lately.
Living after midnight.
Pain, killer. Oh, so good.
I remember I was watching like something on VH1 years ago, and they were talking about when Rob Halford came out of the closet, and they're like, "Oh, really? Rob Halford was gay?" And like a flashback to like all this shit, like him in leather, and they're like, "Oh, surprising."
Exactly, just like Freddie Mercury is like, yeah, we always kind of knew something was up, but Rob was just more butch about it.
Yeah, I think everybody like it was a pretty homophobic time back then, but like people were like pretty cool with it. I think.
Well. I think also Judas Priest was such a badass fucking band that no one gave a shit. Because they're so masculine and metal, dude. You know, it wasn't like somebody in like a glam metal band came out as gay. It was this really fucking tough leather dude.
Patton Oswalt has this great joke where he was like, watching this old like heavy metal video from the 80s. If you liked hair metal back then, you were gay.
Pretty much.
Because they're so girly and like all. I can't do it. It's like the hair,
Snake dancing, doing the snake dance.
whatever, the bed dance.
Oh God. And that's the problem is I think she's hot, but when I see her with a 11-year-old boy and then like her 15-year-old son, it's just a.
And that's when we learn what the title of the episode refers to. You opened the door. You opened this door, Adam, and you can't close it. And Erica recollects on a time where she opened the door. She was at camp. She wrote a letter saying, "I'm a little homesick." And Bev was in the top bunk that night.
Psycho. With such a great photoshopped photo of them canoeing together.
I know.
So quite obviously photoshopped too.
Still a funny moment, though. And Adam says, "Lies and deception are your thing, Erica. Get me out of this." And Erica's like, "I'll get you out. I'll help." And Adam says, "I love you." And Erica can't handle it.
Oh yeah, this okay. Even more. It just gets more and more like the rope tightens the whole show of just uncomfortableness. Why does he keep telling her that? Because he knows it gets her goat?
I don't know. Do you think is there a Marsha Brady, Peter Brady thing going on?
Totally.
Were they hooking up?
Yeah, I think the only person who wasn't hooking up was not Pops, Murray.
The Brady bunch?
No, I think all the kids were fucking each other and maybe the wife, but not the husband.
I mean, it was the 70s.
What?
The Brady bunch.
Yeah, what about it?
It was the 70s. Everybody had sex in the 70s.
Everybody had sex in the 80s too. But
Not as much in the 70s.
No.
So Birds and the Bees Part 2. Take 2. Oh, I screwed that up. Let's try that again for the edit. The Birds and the Bees, Take 2.
Take 2, Birds and the Bees.
Murray decides we're not going to refer to it as late. We're going to refer to, instead of referring to lady parts, we're just going to use baseball players. Because Murray says, "I'm going to give you the nuts and bolts," and Barry's response is
nuts. And they still had missing children on the milk carton, and
I didn't notice. Oh, I didn't do any background looking at it.
Then I was reading a comedy book the other day, and some comedian said they should advertise missing transvestites on cartons of Half and Half. That was a joke from the 70s.
I want to say you do that. You couldn't do that nowadays.
This is what I think would make all of the podcasts interesting is all the side notes.
Yes.
It's not the actual show that's interesting. It's the banter.
No, I think everybody just wants to hear us recap a show. They just want to hear. This is like it's the Goldbergs for the blind people. So Murray's baseball strategy is don't stick your Mike Schmidt into a Wade Boggs.
Yeah, this part was the baseball analogies were horrible, and even Pops chimed in on that.
I did a little deep dive. So people who were mentioned, Mike Schmidt was I didn't see what position he played, but he played
a pitcher.
No,
third base.
No, Wade Boggs was third base. Mike Schmidt, I think, might have just been like I don't know. He might have been an outfielder. I think he was known more for his hitting. In big sluggers, they just put in the outfield typically. But he played for the Phillies from 1972 to 1989. Wade Boggs started in 1982 with Boston and played till 1999 with the Tampa Bay Rays. Steve Carlton was the pitcher for the Phillies from 65 to 88. Good long career. And then we also get a mention of Bo Jackson, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Bo knows. Bo knows, right, Sean?
Yeah, that was a big deal, apparently, for Nike to. That was
Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson played on the Kansas City Chiefs' arch rival, the Oakland Raiders, when he wasn't playing baseball. Probably, arguably, the best athlete who ever lived. For real. Depending on who you ask, like people say Bo Jackson was the best athlete who ever lived.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because he played 2 professional sports and he excelled at both of them.
Huh.
Extremely athletic. His career was just short-lived. He got hurt in a football game. It ended his career entirely.
Huh. I would think that somebody who had a long career in one sport that excelled at it would be a better athlete.
I think that just means that you're adverse to injury. Like, he excelled really well at 2 sports. He probably did like, he was just an incredible athlete. Powerful. He was like strong and fast. Just like some people are born for sports, and he was definitely born for sports. He very interesting career, like very interesting person. So then we learned that Pops already gave Barry the talk, and Barry has just been screwing around with Murray. And Murray vows, I'm going to give him the sex talk, but good.
Yeah, but of course Pops already gave him the sex talk. Pops is Pops. He's always around. He's always a step ahead of the game, you know?
I'd hate to know what Pops' sex talk was.
And then you put today, is it in?
When you see a girl with gams,
Get her drunk.
give her a cigar and listen to jazz.
But what I do love is how, even though Pops is always a little off center, he's always the voice of reason for everybody with all the craziness that's always going on. He's always the kind of the stone that everybody comes back to.
Sometimes, sometimes he's that, and sometimes he's drunk and wants to listen to jazz and take back the furniture store, as we saw. My friend made a really funny point. He was like, wasn't it weird that like in the 50s, like the rebellious music was jazz? Like Jack Kerouac, went on road trips and wrote beat poetry and then listened to jazz. Alan Ginsberg wrote pot and listened to jazz. William S. Burroughs did peyote and then listened to jazz.
Yeah, that's probably why I listened to jazz and got in jazz band, was to be rebellious.
It was the rebellious music in the 50s.
Wasn't in the 80s.
Of course, it did have a resurgence in the 80s. I think we talked about it last time.
It did.
So then we learned that Bev, your creepy meter is going to go off the chart. Bev and Adam. Bev matched outfits with Adam. They're parachute pals.
Oh, balls, he also says.
That's Adam's catchphrase.
Oh, I didn't know that was his catchphrase.
It's his little thing when he's shocked by something, he says, "Oh, balls." You'll get used to it.
Don't wear the pants. Don't wear the pants.
Parachute pals. We're parachute pals.
I'm wearing the pants. Don't wear the pants.
And so Erica plays interference, and she's like, I got all these photos. What if we put them in a book? And then we get our swear of the week. And it's beautiful. Holy bleep, Erica. Do you know how long I've been waiting for you to want to scrapbook with you?
How did I miss that part? I watched it twice.
You were too busy dropping acid and not dancing with your mother.
Let me go get my smock and glue gun.
Yep.
She's been waiting for this.
Yeah.
And then he tells Erica he loves her again. Just keeps heightening.
But Erica's so defensive. She's like, if you say it one more time, I won't help you. Way to go, Erica. Way to stay your ground. Erica and Murray are so similar. They're very similar people. We're gonna see a few episodes of how similar Erica and Murray are.
I will have to ascertain when I see those further episodes.
And Erica swears there's 1,000 photos here. She won't even show up to the dance. And it took her about 15 minutes to put the whole book together.
Yeah, because Bevy had this whole thing mapped out for years. She's been waiting for this.
Oh yeah, she put flowers in there.
Lyrics to her favorite songs and.
I can't imagine just sitting around being like, how am I going to scrapbook my kids' lives?
My mom has sent me like a couple scrapbooks with some pictures in it. She's like, you can put the rest of the pictures I sent you in it. And I have a box of photos that have not gone into the scrapbook. Every time I start to put them in there, I'm just feel so pathetic.
We have photo albums, but not like really scrapbooks. my mom. Like we had our baby books too, like with your first tooth and your first feet prints. And my mom always looks at them and goes, "Oh, look how cute you were." And now she looks at me now and says, "Oh, look how handsome you are. Get a job." Very weird.
Then Bevy says that she's got to get to the gym because the jam's not going to pump itself up.
Yeah. Bev can dance, as we know.
Don't look me straight in the eye when you do that.
She did it to Adam. She did it to an 11-year-old boy. 12? I think he's 12. So Murray decides he's going to do the puppet thing with Barry. Stick your hand in the Fraggle.
Oh, Fraggle man to man. Oh, it's so uncomfortable.
Put your hand in the Fraggle.
I'm a pretty Fraggle. Put myself through nursing school. Oh, God.
Oh, it was funny.
I don't know.
You're overreacting. That was funny. You're being weird.
I don't know. Something was just off for me for this episode.
I was giggling the whole time. I like this episode a lot.
And Barry has a TV in his room.
Yeah. Have you noticed Barry's TV in his room?
There's a TV in every room.
In every room.
Notice that?
Yes.
Even there's one in the kitchen. And then but even like I think they have two in the kitchen actually. There's like a little nook where there's another TV, and then they have like 2, maybe 3 living rooms, and each of those. Then there's the basement, the den. They have that, and then they've got like 10 TVs in the whole place.
I don't know. I keep thinking, like, I bet there's like one of those TVs that like comes out of the ground too. When like Murray's like watching Love Island or Fantasy Island, and he can't be pried away from the TV. They're just like, screw it, and the TV comes out from the ground, and they watch General Hospital or whatever they love. Back in the 80s.
But apparently Fraggles didn't have condos. Barry was upset.
No, but Barry is also upset because Murray should have had the Birds and the Bees talk with him already. And Murray didn't teach him how to shave or change a tire. And I totally related to this. My dad didn't teach me any of that stuff either.
But in Murray's defense, he knows very little, is what he says.
That is a very good defense. That's
a great Murray line. How can you fault him for that?
I think Murray's a really good father.
Yeah, I mean, I never got a chance to check my father's wisdom. He took off when he found out my mom was pregnant, like a good magician. Just disappeared.
I know. My dad never gave me the sex talk. I wonder if he hid it in his when I found his bag of weed or his entire dildo collection. That was really weird.
Yeah, my sex talk was 4th grade sex education, and I got in trouble because my friend was making faces at me, trying to get me to giggle because everyone was so awkwardly afraid for what was about to happen. So I got in trouble and had to sit like in the back of the class or something.
My sex talk was my dad telling me how great tight pussies are. Is that a peach?
That's a potato.
It's holding a potato.
Yeah, my neighbor gave me a potato yesterday, and I was craving potatoes yesterday before I was given the potato, which I thought was pretty magical.
It's a very small potato. I'm not impressed with this potato.
No, but I got a lot more.
Okay, word. That's pretty good. 80s dances. I wrote 80s dances, exclamation point. What do you remember about 80s dances besides going and smoking pot?
They were really boring.
Were
girls didn't want to dance, just like they were saying. No one danced at the dance.
I don't think I ever went to a school dance. No, I never went to a school dance. Oh, I mean, in 5th grade we had a school dance, but everyone had to go. It was during the day. I never went to a school dance.
I went to my senior prom with my buddy, Tyler Moe. We wore tuxedo tops and shorts and Chuck Taylors because we didn't want to ask girls out. It was just annoying. It was like, why are we going to spend all this money? I mean, I think we were both single at the time. We were just like, we weren't even going to go to the prom. It was just a laugh to go get our pictures taken at senior prom together.
Do you have those pictures, and how much do I need to pay you to see them?
Yeah, I've got them somewhere. My hair looks great in that too. Freshly permed and streaked.
That is the shocking part, is that you had hair.
Lots of it.
Do you shave, or are you actually just bald now?
I get stuff that grows in here and here, but it looks terrible.
Oh, like it goes around?
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess it'd be closer to like a Costanza.
Do people recognize you at your high school reunions?
I don't go to my high school reunions.
Would they?
Yeah.
Would the girl who rejected you with your long lost love, would she recognize you? Be like, oh, Sean.
She's probably dead.
I hope you didn't kill her.
Not yet.
It's been a very dark podcast.
Not too dark. Just
I feel so tired.
awkward.
It's been a very awkward, dark podcast. So we learned that Dana's mom has also been chaperoning, and she's making a frickin' fool of herself because she went out for margaritas with the other chaperones, which Bev was not invited to.
No, she didn't. Bev totally would have been there for margaritas in her parachute pants that are swishing all over the dance floor. Yeah,
what is this chaperone gang that Bev is not a part of?
Maybe Bev gets a little too weird on or wily on margaritas.
I think that Bev was like, no, I have to be level-headed for my son. That's what I think. I think Bev made the good mom choice.
Yeah, because she kind of reprimanded the other mom for being a little drunk. She's like, I'm going to go out and get some air. You should come with me.
Yes, but that's not that is not before Adam tells Bev to leave, and then he chases out after her, and he says, I think this is really good writing. I love you and I need you, but I just want you to go away sometimes. And Bev says, well, that's confusing. And Adam says, well, that's the way it is.
That's just the way it is right now. I can't help it, or something like that. That's just the way it is right now. I don't know. That was kind of endearing, I thought.
I think the end of the episode, like, you might think it's a little creepy throughout. I think the end really brings it home.
With men without hats. We can dance if I want to. I always hated that video so much.
Yes. So Bev busts in like a freaking boss and gets the party started. And as Sean said, we get two songs in this episode. Men Without Hats, Safety Dance. You hated it?
Oh, just the video was so creepy. It was like in the Renaissance period with a bunch of little people dancing, and it was just really kind of surreal. It just always bothered me. It didn't match the lyrics. I don't know. There were a lot of weird. I mean, with the new romantic thing that was going through Britain and the rest of the world, with people wearing coquettish, like Renaissance, like frilly shirts and stuff. So I understand why they made it, but it's just such a weird video. Just don't like it. Never did.
Can we at least agree that Men Without Hats is like the most underrated band name ever? It's Men Without Hats. I don't get it.
Oh, and then somebody said it was epic. Like no one said it was that word epic ever in the 80s. No one ever used that word.
I was very disappointed because Adam's thing is, and that was awesome. And it was awesome. And then, but this time, for some reason, he said it was epic.
Epic, yeah.
I was very disappointed. I said, you don't get to do that. You don't get to spit on this podcast face by saying something was epic and not awesome.
Oh, and then the other song, I Was Living for a Dream by Survivor, the slow song comes on.
Wait. No, it's The Search Is Over by Survivor.
I was living for a dream. Is
it? I got the...
I looked it up. I thought it was I was living for... Maybe that's just one of the lyrics. Maybe The Search Is Over is the name of the song.
I think it is.
I was living for a dream. The search is over. You're right before my eyes.
I just want to say Adam's dance moves during Safety Dance. Dana's like all into this. Whatever that is. And then she kind of does... I don't know. Yeah. I think Dana is so into Adam.
She is
really weird.
smitten.
She is absolutely smitten by this adorkable child, Adam Goldberg. Yeah, Search is Over by Survivor from 1985.
Yeah, but then I was never a fan of those slick pop ballads, and then like the hair metal bands started getting into them, and then everybody was doing them. Everybody had a power ballad. I mean, you go back and you look at power ballads of the 80s, and there's just hundreds of them.
Yeah, Kiss did like 3 of them.
Oh,
Forever.
What's that?
Kiss Forever. Forever. I gotta send you the song. I also want to say with
that's hurting my brain trying to scratch. I'm sure I buried that deep within my consciousness that didn't actually happen. But
when
just...
I see you smile. Who's that? I gotta look that up. I don't know. I thought the 80s like had some really good power ballads, like heavy metal ballads. All right, here's one you know.
Forever.
Every road.
Oh yeah, that was the power ballad. That's what put Poison on the map.
Or was Home Sweet Home the power ballad?
No, Every Rose I think came out before Home Sweet Home, which I think is why they wrote Home Sweet Home, because it was so fucking popular. And then Warrant.
Home Sweet Home is badass.
Yeah.
Every Rose Has Its Thorn is garbage.
But then like every song that came out after Every Rose sounded like Every Rose.
I still think I think there's like still a debate about which is the quintessential Guns N' Roses ballad. It's like it's either
November Rain.
That's my opinion, but some people say Patience. It's like either Patience or November Rain. I go November Rain. That is power ballad through and through.
Yeah, because you have a guitar solo in it.
You
like a really long guitar solo. I mean, there's a guitar solo in Patience, but it's more of a little transition thing.
You have 2 great guitar solos in November Rain.
Yeah. Great guitar solos in Painkiller by Judas Priest. There's like 3 guitar solos in the middle, and they're all just terrifyingly good.
Metallica even like did the power ballad thing a few times.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what was their song? That horrible. They did the Bob Seger.
Oh, Turn the Page. On the road again.
Yeah. Come on. You know there was a there was a album written by some really funny people called Beatallica. They did all these Beatles songs, but in the style of Metallica.
That's hysterical.
Oh God!
Listen to that.
It's like all these like kind of metal Beatles songs with yeah, yeah. So good, fucking Metallica. You knew it was over once they fucking wrote a blues album and did a fucking Seeger cover. Come on.
You knew it was over. I think they softened up like in the mid '90s. They just like softened up more and more and more. Apparently, they're really good now. Death Magnetic was a great album. Apparently,
after fucking Injustice for All, they just. And even then, I mean, after Cliff died, it wasn't really Metallica anymore. It was James Hetfield. James Hetfield dictating to everybody what was. Have you ever seen the? Was it called Making of a Monster or something?
Some Kind of Monster. I saw it in theaters. I loved it.
Oh, what a dick! I always thought it was Lars that was the dick, but it's James. He would just disappear for months, and no one could get a hold of him. When they're like, "We need to write this fucking album, dude," and he'd come back all like, "Yeah, I'm James Hetfield. Write the album the way I want to fucking write it."
And then we learned that Saint Anger comes out and it's a piece of shit.
Oof. Oof.
It's a terrible album.
Oof.
They rebounded though. Death Magnetic apparently was a really good album. I don't know what they've done. I don't think they've done anything else Recently. I'm not sure, but for me, Metallica will always be Kill 'Em All to the Black Album. I ended at Black Album. I know it's controversial. Metallica purists ended at Injustice for All usually.
Yeah, I saw him twice on the Master of Puppets tour. Did I see him 3 times?
It must have been sick.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I saw him once with Cliff. twice with Newstead. Twice? 3 times? Whatever.
There's a really good book on heavy metal by a guy named Ian Christie. I think it's just called Heavy Metal, or like Sound of the Beast, I think it's called. Really good book. And he had like these little like lists, like listicles in the book, and like one of them was like the worst heavy metal power ballads. And one of them I didn't get was Hallowed Be Thy Name by Iron Maiden. I was like, that's a really good song.
I love that song. Fuck
Yeah.
them. Fuck them. That's not even a ballad. I mean, it starts out, what is it?
Yeah, I can't remember the lyrics, but I know like I have the tune in my head.
Hallowed be thy name. I saw Iron Maiden last year with my best buddy, and it was really uncomfortable because we were like the only 2 people in the entire stadium that weren't wearing Iron Maiden shirts.
I don't think anyone cares.
You're not supposed to wear the concert T-shirt to the concert.
I've heard that before. I'm glad you confirmed that, because I was wondering that recently. I'm like, was that just like some stupid rumor?
But not only that, all the Iron Maiden fans wore the concert T-shirt that they bought at that concert to the concert. It wasn't like they wore old Iron Maiden shirts. It was the new Iron. Everyone was wearing the brand new Iron Maiden shirt.
Posers. Fucking posers.
I don't know who these people are.
Can I go back? There's a really Men Without Hats safety dance usually makes me think of in the early days of the internet. There was this really funny viral video that went around. I don't know if this you recall this. Remember like when the Burger King was like a thing?
Yeah. So
somebody like wore the Burger King mask and just stood outside of various other fast food chains, and safety dance was playing, and he would stand outside of like a McDonald's and just go like this. And that was it. He'd stand outside of a Sonic and just go like, and he would just like he would just flick the camera off outside of all these other fast food establishments as the Burger King. Was really fun.
I would like to see that. I've never encountered that. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it was. I didn't get it at first, but like after a while, I was like, that was really good. I wish I had come up with that. Survivor. Why not Eye of the Tiger?
Well, I think Survivor in this song that we're having questions about the title, I think that was the second singer. That wasn't the same singer as Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, Cheap Trick did The Flame. Sorry, that just came out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of pathetic in a weird way, even though it was so big. And then there was Kicks, Don't Close Your Eyes. Warrant had one.
Heaven isn't too far away.
Slaughter. Oh, man.
Slaughter?
Yeah, you don't need to look them up.
I want to know like what Winger's terrible excuse for a power ballad was.
Oh, what was it?
Do you remember in like Beavis and Butthead, like Beavis wore like an AC/DC shirt and like Butthead wore the Metallica shirt, and like the stupid kid who like really liked them wore the Winger shirt.
Yeah. All of us heavy metal dudes hated Winger except my fucking douchebag friends. And we're like, ew, you're gross.
I like 17.
She's only 17.
If
Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me.
That goes perfectly with the whole this episode's really creepy theme.
That does actually.
By Winger. Should we bring it home?
Yeah.
We go on and on about like heavy metal power ballads. So Pops consoles Murray and shows Barry how to open the bottle, which I did all throughout college. I never owned a bottle opener, so I'd find the nearest bunk bed and just boom. With my beer bottle.
Did you ever break a bottle that way?
No, but I really put some dents on some bedposts.
I learned in Germany I couldn't do it on the sidewalk. I tried to do that, and then I ended up learning how to do it with my teeth.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I would love to learn that.
I don't recommend it. You're gonna fuck your teeth up one day.
I had friends who could do it with a lighter.
I could do it with the lighter.
I could do it with a lighter.
Murray turns out is nothing like his dad.
He really isn't. Murray, we meet Murray's dad in a few incarnations. You'll know what I mean. The more we do this, the further you'll see what I mean. Murray's dad is very distant. Really doesn't give a hoot. When we talked about in the Thanksgiving episode with Marv, like how his dad was really not there for them. Murray really raised Marv.
And then there's like a little montage where during this they flash back, I think, to mom watching the kids dance and then him saying, "I love you, Mom," and then she's like, "I love you." It's just
We Wait, but I thought the closing narration I thought was pretty poignant. It was some moments you can't scrapbook, and we see Erica crying at the scrapbook that she made.
kind of hit my in the gut a little
You
bit.
just got to be there. And I was like, oh, that's so good. That's such good writing. And yeah, Adam's slow dancing with Dana, and he says, and Bev says at the door,
While he's dancing with his crush, his little girlfriend.
It's adorable. Come on, have a heart. I slow dance with my mom.
Just like that photo at the end or the video where they're like awkward, and they show Barry dancing with his mom in real life.
Yeah,
it's
the little dedication is dedicated to the mother-son slow dances, which This is what he looked like.
This is what he looked like.
My mom has a pretty athletic figure, and last year I took my ex-girlfriend to my cousin's wedding. So my ex was like a little bit bigger, so like I'd be dancing with her, like my hands on her hips, and then I danced with my mom, and I put my hand on her hips, and I was like, whoop, like whoa, I didn't know hips go in this far. I liked my ex. I liked her big.
Yeah.
Very, very beautiful. And our post credit is Beverly dancing in the gym alone, really getting into it.
But she was dancing to Beat It. It wasn't the song, but I thought it was the Thriller dance, but she was actually doing the.
You're good, man. We're almost done.
Something's wrong with my microphone.
Sean got so into it, he broke his microphone.
Broke something. Or I muted myself.
You got up and it went crackle. So I think you might have stepped on a wire or something.
Damn it. So yeah, I think she was stealing all of her moves from Michael Jackson, MJ.
Well, good for Wendy McLendon Covey for being able to dance so well. She had some moves. I'm not gonna lie, you might have thought it was creepy, but Bev had some moves.
She looked great in those parachute pants, by the way.
And the invitation said it was 6 to question mark. No, that was a 9. I was surprised, Sean. I thought you would have I thought you were gonna come up with like some lines for this show, for this episode, on like fashion besides the parachute pants.
There really wasn't a lot going on to work with. This was actually the smallest amount of notes I've ever taken of any episode. I usually have about a page and a half, 2 pages. I just had one. It wasn't fashion centered for sure.
I was like, oh, Sean's gonna have a whole speech about this acid wash denim jacket.
I did have something in the back where when she had her parachute pants, she also had a matching acid wash denim jacket that was the same as Barry's, and her turquoise frilly shirt matched his turquoise button-up shirt. But we got sidetracked by power ballads.
Oh, I liked our power ballad conversation, and that was awesome.
It's awesome.
This is a long one.
I know.